to that. I'm okay with that. I accept it, I understand that's what the world is. But that doesn't hold me back, that doesn't, I don't complain, I just acknowledge. And I just keep working and doing what I do because I love it. And you know, talking about composition and playing and doing what I do, I've always lived to serve the project. It's never, ever, ever about me. It's always about the other person. It was always about Beyonce. It was always about Daft Punk. It's always about the B-52. It's always about David Bowie. Never about me. Chic was about me. I did that already. I mean, I already did, you know, Chic and Sister Sledge and Diana Ross. That was about me. I was young and I was trying to carve out my thing. I did it.
Wonderful. We only have a few minutes because we have to get you back to New York, I think it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But any other words of wisdom that you can give to people? And then I had a favor that I had asked. When I met with Nick in the back, Nick works with Nile, he said that you like to tell stories sometimes and play a few riffs, as he said, about your stories. Would you tell the story of one of my favorite songs, "We Are Family"?
Oh, okay. That's an easy. That's an easy one, and it's sort of semi-sad, but it actually wound up working out. So when we first started out, we only knew one way of working because we were studio musicians. That meant I'd wake up in the morning, look at my daily planner, and it would say, you're at this studio at 2:30, you're at this studio at 5:30, you're at this studio at 9. So I just was running from place to place to place. Half of the records I've played on, I don't even remember. You know, so when we were offered the opportunity to do the Rolling Stones, we only knew how to make records like studio musicians, which was, it's not democratic. You know, somebody is the boss, and we were the bosses. So I couldn't imagine being Mick Jagger's boss. I couldn't imagine being, you know, Keith Richards. I'm going to take Keith Richards' guitar and play his parts. So I said, instead of giving us your most popular group, why don't you give us your least popular group? And at that time, it was Sister Sledge. So basically, we just made their whole record and then just said, okay, guys, now sing what we just did. Oops.
That was it?
Oh, yeah. They walked into the studio, their album was done. All they had to do was copy what we did. So they walked in and we were finishing up the lyrics to We Are Family. And they,
did you ever think it would be this big? I mean,
yeah. When you say this big, no, not this big, because I do know that after I'm dead and gone, people will still know We Are Family. So I never imagined that. But I did know it was a hit. I absolutely knew it. As a matter of fact, the one thing I didn't know was I didn't know Sister Sledge. I never met them until they walked into the studio. So they were offended that how could we write their whole album and they never even heard a demo. They never had a chance to say yes, no, or whatever. But we knew that they were at least sisters. So we wrote, right, well, they were sisters. So I wrote, oh man, I can't even play it? Oh, of course I can. Sing, we are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up and together as the month gone by. And we'll talk and celebrate like a farewell. I will tell no lie. All of the people around us can say, can't be that close. Just let me stay for the record. We're giving love in a family dose. We are family. I got all my sisters and me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters and me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. So that was the beautiful part of the story. The ugly part of the story was we broke Sister Sledge with a song called He's the Greatest Dancer. People forget that. We came right out of the gate with a 2 million seller. And we didn't know anything about Sister Sledge except they were sisters. We had no idea they were deeply religious. We had no idea that Kathy was 16 years old. We had no idea she was a virgin. And He's the Greatest Dancer is about having a one-night stand. So they get to the studio and they look at the lyrics. Well, they listen to the lyrics, but we'd already sang it. They listen to the lyrics and they go, "My creme de la creme, please take me home." I was like, yeah, because the guy is so awesome. You want him to take you home out of all the girls that are in the nightclub. And the mother was the manager. And they're very, super, super religious, and and they were like, well, look, we like the song. It's got a great vibe. It's hooky. But can you please change the lyrics to "My creme de la creme, please don't go home"? And I went, absolutely not. That changes the entire focus. No, you are begging him to take you home. That's what the song is all about. And you cannot change the lyric just because it sounds cool to you and it fits your values. You have to understand that we're making music for the world. And you're an artist. You're telling a story. You're not telling your story. You are telling an artistic story rather. And that's what this song is all about. We're living in the disco era. It's happening. It's about partying. It's about gorgeous men and gorgeous women and blah, blah, blah. And finally, the 16-year-old girl pulled me aside and said, "Nile, do you think this song is going to be on the radio?" And I said with total confidence, "Absolutely. Are you kidding me?" And I'll never forget this. This was so beautiful. She's on her way to high school. And she called me up one day and she said, "Nile, listen to this!" And she puts the phone up and she hears her song on the radio. And she's singing, and Kathy Sledge is just a genius. And she said, "You were right." And it changed their whole lives.
So now we have one last thing that we want to do. We're going to have you come over here. You guys may not know who this gentleman is, but this is the famous music agent.